Hi everyone, this is Lumen. I will be casting a 1v1 Zerg player Roxkis Abver versus Terran player up here, top right hand side, PraeRykitan. I will be calling him Ricky for short. That is his new nickname. So keep in mind the Terran player is now officially called Ricky, and Zerg player Roxkis. So probably be seeing here early in game a drone and a VCS going to be tampering around with each other's base encampment. So a quick thing I have to be stating is that being a caster is actually quite difficult. You have to be thinking and while momentarily simultaneously talking, and it is very important for the caster to be focused. So that is one quick reminder for all my fellow casters, and exceptionally myself, of course. So this drone is indeed going to be thrusting past with a VCS here, and he will be tampering around with his opponent's base. This drone will be making it in, and this Terran player has indeed sensed this drone will be coming in, but just quickly creating that barracks just in time. The VCS came in to kind of annoy him, but this VCS picking on this drone faster than the VCS, obviously. The refinery being made by Rykitan and Ricky anyway, Roxkis, another drone, and he is planning an expansion. This Terran player not taking it, he is going to stop this and prevent this drone from creating an early hatchery expansion. So just skirmishing about, but unfortunately drone not being able to pick into this VCS losing a lot of health. So we'll be seeing this VCS backing off in a short while, not really taking too much time, taking a little amount of time. Anyway, not seeing an expansion from this Terran player anyway, so to no real help will this hatchery be made from the VCS. Doesn't even matter, as he will be backing off from that first base. And up here, and now, just now, a depot being made of supplies to stop this drone from being a pestilence. So unfortunately for him, these two Marines will be picking him off if he ever comes near him, his base. So this drone just running for his life, these Marines just chasing him to his base. And this is a 30-minute match, so this is going to be one excellent round. Expecting, and excuse me for shouting this way, this is indeed going to be a shoutcast, etc. Also a broadcast maybe. But here we have a bunker being made. Oh yes, this is going to be excellent bunker, and these two Marines are going to be using this bunker as a safe point as they trigger their way against this hatchery here. Now ultimately, finally coming to its peak, and yes indeed there is the hatchery. All the nukes spreading around it, and the Marines inflicting a lot of damage on the hatchery, and two Zerglings here, but are they waiting for a few more enforcements? In fact, I think they are. As you can see, that hatchery taking a lot of damage without anything preventing these Marines. Oh, and these Marines will be backing up into that bunker, but no, these Zerglings are smart enough not to get too close to that bunker. And anyway, Marines, what will the Zerg player be doing to prevent these Marines from taking off and taking on that hatchery? Could he be using his queen to pick off these two Marines single-handedly? And yes, indeed, but not being dumb enough to get close enough to that bunker and using in a very good decisive manner his queen. These Marines are now thinking, this is kind of a useless situation, we should be backing off. So he is going to be eliminating his bunker here. Unfortunately, this did not prevent the Zerg player Roxkis from doing too much. His economy is still growing at a peak. But anyway, he has just sent out 4 roaches, probably going in for early attack. And here is... oh, and here is a Tormentor. That is a Hellion for all you people who don't speak French. Anyway, Also, we will be seeing Banshees coming into play, and this is a very good tactic, as using Banshees on the Zerg player will be extremely effective, as they will be completely cloaked and nothing will be able to stop them. As you can see, no spine crawlers inside. Here neither, no spine crawlers, so no detection range for the Zerg player from any Banshees, so Banshees will be a very good tactic. So already a lot of Marines here, and what is this? Roaches intact, but realizing there's too many Marines to be taking on at the present time, so they are going to be getting rid of this rubble for the second expansion and coming in place soon enough. All this rocks will be dismantled, and yes, indeed now dismantled, and a probe making its way for a very quick hatchery. And what is this? One loathsome Zergling keeping an eye out on the Terran player Ricky. Now seeing and quickly going through this game, just so we don't waste too much time. This is going to be one very long match, so we will have to speed and pace things up a little bit. Very important, as you might already know. Let's just see any Banshee action, some Banshee action from the Terran player. Probably going to be seeing some very soon, but only seeing one Banshee over 10 minutes in game. So come on, another Banshee now. Could he be going double in the base? And is he finally finished researching his tech upgrades here for his station ports? I don't think so, but he has a big amount of Marines plus Banshee combination. Ouch, ouch, and you can see, sorry, there is a big amount of, not only for infestors, but inflicting a big amount of damage. And all those Marines going down, and along with those, that big amount of tanks now, and they are going down. And those Zerglings being ignored by these Banshees here, cloaked. And are there any detection ranges here? No, unfortunately not. He will not be able to pick on. Yes, indeed, the infestors now. But quickly enough, just poking back in. So this is going to be a pretty difficult situation here, and this hatchery gone down. So are these? Now they will be retreating. These Banshees are retreating, so no more threat to the Zerg player. And anyway, he could have inflicted a little bit more damage on this economy status from Roxkis, but now he is deciding to be a good sport and backing off. So any more supplies here? It looks like he has right now already gotten 3 barracks and 1 station port, and that is a maximum, or should I say 4 barracks, and also a factory, obviously, but only 1 factory and only creating a few tanks. And this is just a quick thing I want to say here. If I could talk personally to Ricky, I would tell him, hey, why not go for the big leagues? And seeing you have already a lot of minerals, why not make a few 4s? But indeed, he only has 1 expansion that equals up to 2 bases, 2 command centers, and oh, the 3rd hatchery being remade and now being heavily protected here, and only 2 infestors to detect any Banshees, and just now the area being scanned, as he was probably expecting this to happen. And also a spine crawler will be used as a detection range. So Banshees unfortunately not being very effective at this point of time in game. Good enough for the Zerg player. So Roxkis just backing off a little bit. So these Banshees still inflicting damage and not taking or receiving any damage at all. So investors now trying to invest these Banshees. So a few contaminated Terrans, and they are now officially taking on the Banshees. The Banshees, unfortunately, Terran player succumbing to his now rivaled Marines, and ouch, they're all gone down. These Banshees just still going into play, attacking these poor infestors. Why don't they just, yes indeed, infest them, as the title states. So a medivac fully filled in with 8 Marines here, and popping in and will be taking on these poor little drones, but with the help of these Zerglings. What could we be expecting? Oh, unfortunately these Marines are going down, ouch, very fast, and this medivac retreating as what a fail. These Zerglings just, this Zerg player is just so on track of what is happening, Roxkis that is, and very aware of the situation, always present and available of any sort of threat on his base. So what now? An expansion planned by the Terran player, Ricky, and oh, his command center is flying away from this. I think he just forgot to check in on the emplacement, and just now placing his command center. So this is already a good sign. So his expansion here will try and keep up with the huge economy balance being created by Roxkis, and that's a lot of queens too. And now, just now, looks like spreading the mucus for future extra speed for his little Zerglings, and all that speed is going to be very necessary, as you all know. As he has so many Zerglings, might as well use them to their full potential and take in a huge advantage in the battle that will be commencing in maybe a few seconds, but it isn't quite sure yet. Maybe he'll just be protecting his place after a little. And his VCSs here not doing quite much. They should be thinking of moving in here and cultivating on these rich mineral fields, which will be a pretty satisfying investment for those VCSs. Just taking their time there. So, are we going to be seeing the big battle from here on yet? No, it's just going to be a small take in here. Onto, a big amount of Zerglings. Oh, these Zerglings, they just completely obliterated that place. All those tanks took so much damage, they could totally, this point of time in game, take on these tanks, and then maybe even go for the Marines. But this is a really nifty situation for Zerg player Roxkis, and it looks like his, unfortunately, it looks like his expansion once again lost and actually gone down. So, gunned down by these tanks. So, yes, very good tactic here. Just mass tanks everywhere in siege mode. So, all these overlords quickly, retreating somehow. Maybe he's not keeping an eye out on these poor overlords. Taking so much damage, unfortunately, from these Marines. So these Marines will be taking down the majority of them, and only 2 left. Will they be going down as well? Yes, they will be going down. And the last one finally taking a final amount of damage and going down. So what now? What now in game? What could we be seeing later? Terran player taking advantage of the Zerg player, but really we are seeing 3 expansions. That means he has overtaken the economy balance from Roxkis. So Roxkis now has got to be going in with his mass Zerglings and combination of infestors pretty soon to make sure he does inflict as much damage as possible before his economy is outbalanced by Terran player. So he is going to be having to go into attack very soon, but he has already a maximum amount of melee being researched right now. Very soon as that melee is fully researched, they will be going into attack. He has only a level 1 shield for his terrestrial Zerglings, so are they going to be taking on these tanks? Yes. What a huge mass amount of Zerglings. Unfortunately, taking too much damage from those tanks, and even some Broodlords. I mean, some of these lords here. Wow, they are just missiling those tanks. Those tanks going down. This bunker is going to take too much damage to continue. Unfortunately, that is the truth. And Medivac probably will have to keep with his Terran marine units. Ground forces, which would be a better option for him, but you can see the Zergs just overtaking these marines, and this Terran player seeing too much damage inflicted on these tanks. These tanks are not up to the challenge unless they deploy for some maximal amount of damage. But what will we be seeing next? Oh, it looks like all these lords here, these Broodlords and these Corruptors, just taking in the lead, and these tanks being inflicted so much damage. It's so unfortunate to see that he did not opt for maybe just using some force instead of these tanks. Now they are so outdated by these higher ranked Zergs, and seeing he only has a few Marines here, not seeing a big defense, but they are heavily upgraded, I suppose, by this time in game. Yes, he has A4 now, a little late in the game, and his armory already only a level 1 upgrade on each on his attack for his mech. But also, as I was stating, it looks like 1 level 2 and 1 level 1 tech upgrade for his ground forces. So what is going on here? A lot of Corruptors, I mean 4 Corruptors, that's not a lot. And oh, it looks like taking the lead once again. It looks like, but there is a lot of Corruptors now being made, and it is indecisive who is going to take the lead at this point. But these fours just amazing, and displaying so much power against these Brood Overlords. But anyway, these Brood Overlords inflicting the same amount of damage that they are receiving, and that is maybe one Broodlord going down with that, but no, both Broodlords survive, and both of the 4s go down. So wow, you can see here a good display here from Zerg player and his Broodlords, but now being taken down by these Vikings, these quick little Vikings. Oh, and a lot of Corruptors here, just going to be taking down those Vikings without too much of a problem. Just amazing to see these very detailed Corruptors in motion. So much action going on from their part. Anyway, reaching end game very soon. This long game is going to be taking a big break very soon. So what else can we be seeing here? What else are we going to be seeing here? Come on, it looks like on equal terms maybe. What would be a good tactic for each race? Could he be maybe splitting up from each angle? Not actually quite important, just build in as much power. That means as much force as possible will be efficient. The Vikings also will be doing a very good job taking down these Zerg A units. So still no upgrades for the air, so force would be a proper tactic for Terran player. Ricky still sticking with the tanks, just maybe because he got discouraged by those Karatzes. But anyway, it doesn't matter, and those Broodlords also, I'm not quite sure which is most powerful at the moment of those two aliens, but he is sticking with the tanks and a couple of Vikings. Not too much to worry about for Zerg player at this point, but he does indeed not have that much of a resistance, so it's going to be quite difficult. Oh, and you can see two medivacs along with these Marines, and as you can see, no Marauders in sight. So what now? What now? What are we going to be seeing here? It looks like a mass Marine plan is coming into play. So that's his plan basically. Broodlords equaling nearly the same amount of Corruptors. So what is up? What is up? They are just taking their time, just tempting each other to come in close quarters and start a fight. So this is looking like the end. This is looking like the end, yes indeed. And who is going to be discouraging the enemy? It looks like quickly being overtaken. All those Corruptors going down. Oh, and it's a good game from Roxkis. He just gives up. And that is the end of this amazing match up with these two very similarly tactic plays. But you see here, maybe what he could have done with these Corruptors is build in as many more. But also, a very important thing is to upgrade. He did not upgrade it at all. So anyway, this was an excellent game, and this was Lumen's casting. So be sure to have a maybe check out my channel and leave a subscribe. So that helps me out a lot. So this was me broadcasting, and bye.